Welcome to the Green Wisdom Health Podcast with Dr. Stephen and Janet Lewis, where you will learn about natural solutions to common ailments. And now, here are your hosts, Dr. Stephen and Janet Lewis.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Green Wisdom Health Show. I'm Janet Lewis.
And I'm Dr. Lewis.
And today we are going to teach you some ways to slow down your immune system. Now, doesn't that sound like fun? Everybody needs their immune system slowed down, don't they, Dr. Lewis?
Yeah, Jen and I were laughing our butts off a while ago, so this ought to be a little bit convoluted, more so than normal. So rabbit trails, here we come.
I know you're thinking, why would I want to slow my immune system down? Well, there's been so many factors lately that have caused your immune system to be slowed down. Thus, that's why you're sick or on the edge of getting sick. So today we're going to tell you what some of those things might be that's helping work against your immune system.
Actually, I had Janet cross over into the dark side, and she's become a smart aleck.
Yeah, I thought that was a super cute title. I thought, well, that's catchy.
Okay.
But then we're going to inspire you with ways to build it back up, just in case you don't want to slow it down. And then we're going to help you get back on the train to health. Because how many of you have fallen off the train? You might even know where the train is located at this point anymore. I totally get that. This has been an interesting few months in many ways. And, you know, it's time to take care of our health because, folks, that's all we can do right now is to take care of ourselves because we're certainly not responsible for anything else at this point. So let's get started with some exciting tips. And then for those of you that are new, we're going to inspire you on what you can do to take a first step. So some ways to slow down your immune system. Stay inside all of the time. You know, with winter here, that's been pretty easy to do, hasn't it? And most of us have been glued to our TVs or something at some point, and that's all we do is sit on the couch and sit inside, staying up late, staring at some sort of a screen, whether it's a phone, TV. And then some of us have added alcohol into the equation or sodas because I've had so many people say, I can't do my lab right now because this has been stressful. I've been in a stressful time, and it's not going to look good. And I've gained some weight, and I know that things aren't good. So, but you've got to start somewhere. It's time to pick yourself up from the bootstraps and get going. Some of us have been eating food from boxes, which we've always said don't ever do that. Try to eat fresh food. But a lot of people have been eating things from inside the grocery aisles. We always shop. We tell you don't shop inside the grocery aisles.
Hey, you want to slow down your immune system? Go into the grocery store. And Jen and I have a lot of fun with this. Go find somebody that's obviously sick and unhealthy and buy the same crap they have in their buggy. That is hilarious. Oh, my God. We snicker so much as we look at obviously healthy people and obviously unhealthy people. And the difference in what they put in their buggy is vast.
Well, you can tell because most of those people that are unhealthy are shopping in the middle aisles. You don't usually see them over in the fresh produce aisle. That's where you see the little quick walkers and the little people that's got their own basket they're carrying. They're not pushing one, and they're on an agenda because they're...
Yeah, the 90-year-old sweet little ladies that are way the heck healthier than people that are shopping in the middle of the store and have boxes of stuff and diet soda and chips and carbohydrates.
Because they're going to lose weight like that, right? Because they're having all that diet stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know, and that's going to be our next show about weight because I'm very excited about that, too, because we've got a new weight loss program. I think our app is just about ready, and we have a new weight loss supplement as well that I'll talk to you about just a little bit at the end of the show. So, the other thing people have been doing is binging on candy.
And I told her I wanted to go to Sam's and get a case of Snickers. Now, I got a case of Snickers many, many, many months ago when this COVID stuff started and made fun of it on Shooting Straight with Dr. Lewis, which, for God's sake, join it. You know, shooting straight without the G on the shooting. Anyway, I bought a case of Snickers, and I've not finished the first case yet, and that's been many, many, many months, and there's only 48 in a case. So,
because some people are just looking for something sweet in their life at this point, right?
Yeah, as the waitress today gave Janet a creme brulee for free.
I never do that, but it is egg. Doesn't that count? It's actually egg.
Yeah, and the lady brought 2 spoons, and Janet never offered me one bite.
Oh, my God, I didn't. I just realized I didn't. I am so sorry.
That's how you screw up my immune system, is not offering me dessert. So, yeah, okay.
I should have gave you the raspberry off the top.
One of the reasons we're so crazy is because we were going to have a weight loss program today. And Janet said, no, I've changed my mind. We're going to do how to screw up your immune system. And I don't have any notes for this. So, man, this ought to be fun. And I said, I don't know. I don't have any notes. Let's just shoot from the hip. And she says, you remind me of this video, podcast that we listen to. And they say, what you get's what you get. And it's like, Janet says, oh, my God, this is going to be interesting. So, people are kind of interesting in what they do, paying $300 for a pair of jeans and, trying to win the lottery, which your chance is about 1 in, I think, 176 million. Don't get me started. And this is old information, but Americans used to spend 33 billion annually on weight loss products. So how to screw up your immune system? Keep doing that crap. I mean, it's stuff that won't work. We can make it work.
Well, again,
light up cigarettes.
This has been a lot. We've had this virus that's been here since
11 months
coming
or
on
so.
a year now, and now we just got put back in a dark winter, and I thought spring was on its way soon, but apparently it is not.
You can control your health and happiness.
That's right. You can make spring inside yourself and have a spring in your step. We have got to get our health, and we've got to get our joy back and our hope, because there's a lot of things to be grateful for.
No, we're supposed to tell them how to be depressed and screw up your immune system. But, here's the thing. If you're depressed, you're living in the past. If you're anxious, anxiety, you're living in the future. If you're at peace, you're living in the present.
Yeah, I mean, there's stuff you can't change, right? I mean, you might the things you can change, you might as well do. And it's time to stop eating all this junk and drinking all this stuff. Only thing it's hurting is yourself. I mean,
and the people around you.
Yeah. When the bottom line is, nobody else cares what it's doing other than what you're doing to yourself. So you're not changing anything like that. So it's time to take that back. If you don't know what we're talking about, half the time we don't know what we're talking about here apparently either. But, for those of you that are new, that are just now joining our show, thank you for that. We actually had a very nice letter from a lady.
We haven't really met yet.
Oh, but I fell in love with her. And I've never met her, only on an email. And she really inspired me at a time when I needed it. And she said, "Dear Janet, thank you for what you and your husband do. I've listened to some of your podcasts, and I'm so grateful that God has blessed you to help us." And she said, "I know it won't be easy and fast to get healthy. How long did the Israelites take to make an 11-day journey? 40 long years." And I thought, you have got to love her, because she gets it. She gets that it's not instantaneous. She gets that there's work to be done. And bless her for listening to this. But, she's new. There's a lot of new people that don't have a clue what we do here, beside try to, tell you about different vitamins and things that we think are really great. But basically, it's time to do your lab work. It's time to see where you are. If it's been a long time since you've done your lab, I would ask you to do it again. It should be done at least annually. And I have a few tests that I'd like to tell you about that I just think that are great markers on where to start, because many people get on our website, they have no clue which tests to do. We always suggest you fill out our health survey at greenwisdomhealth.com. But the test that we really like for someone to start with is a GWH3. It's a comprehensive panel, and it includes Dr. Lewis's consultation for 30 minutes. And it comes with 14 different tests and 102 biomarkers, and currently the price on that is $298. So for $298, I promise you, you're not going to get lab in time with a doctor with that kind of in-depth testing anywhere else, because we don't do insurance, and we're doing it at a very low price, so we don't guess at what's wrong with you. So there's no reason to not do a lab. We do it close to your city or town. It's not like you have to drive to Texas to come see us, but you could do that if you'd like.
Yeah. Thanks for stopping by, Melissa.
Yeah, we've had quite a few that actually come through
from Virginia,
and basically it tells us why your immune system isn't good. It tells us why you're depressed. It tells us if your cortisol's high or low, if you've been through a lot of stress lately,
if your spouse is stressful.
Yeah, tells if your thyroid's not working right. It tells us why you can't lose weight, because, it's usually the time of year people are back on trying to lose weight again, all of us hoping for a vacation this year. So, but I don't know. I just think it's time that people get a new lease on life. It's time to feel good again.
Well, Janet mentioned, I'm interrupting her, but Janet mentioned losing weight. I grew up with people that were always trying to lose weight, and it's like, well, geez, what you doing ain't working, so you got to do something different. And now there's some old books, and I'm going to go from old to new up to 2003. Eat Fat and Grow Slim. That's 1958. That's way before Janet was born. Calories Don't Count, 1961. And I remember people giving him holy heck, even though his book was correct. The Doctor's Quick Weight Loss Diet, 1968. Dr. Atkins' Diet Revolution. Keto is super duper popular now. Well, Atkins started it, and that was 1972. Scarsdale Medical Diet, 78. The Zone Protein Power Sugar Busters South Beach Diet was 2003. And you know what they have in common? They advocated an alternative hypothesis that carbohydrates are the problem. Folks, it ain't fat, it's carbohydrates. And that means any kind of grain. And I've given up gluten, and holy jeez, I've gotten better, and my mind is better, and I still have an issue with corn. But, we do live here in East Texas where Hispanic, well, anyway, they use a lot of corn, and I love it. So if you give up grain, that in and of itself can help you lose weight. Of course, we've got the weight loss probiotics that I just rolled my eyes and said, no, bull. They don't work.
Well, you might as well tell them about our new weight loss support packets.
I don't know anything about it, but the ProBio Lean, actually I lost, 6 or 7 pounds, and I'm not a heavy guy. I'm 5'10", 5'11". I weigh 178-ish, depending on how much I binge eat. But the probiotics helped me lose weight, and there's many, many books written to that effect. 10% Human, the Skinny Gut Diet, and it goes the Microbiome Diet. That's a really good one. So if you want to blow your immune system, for God's sake, don't read any of these books. Don't get any more knowledge, or get the knowledge and then don't do anything about it. And that has a lot to do with our mental decline. I want to say something about that. The average age for mental deterioration is 52. For women, which is excess estrogen, and that can come from the environment. Comes from your adrenals. That's why we check cortisol. And DHEA, if you go to the level above what Janet mentioned, you'll get the hormones, which includes DHEA. And then dementia. It's coming. So what do? If you got foggy brain? Well, think you've got too much yeast because you're feeding it with carbohydrates, and they're taking your thiamine, which we use benfotiamine because it's way, way, way better than just straight thiamine. So don't read a book if you want to screw up your immune system, screw up your life. You're way, way, way more, you have a bigger tendency toward metabolic syndrome, diabetes, and cancer, and heart disease if you're obese. And obese can be 10 to 20 pounds heavier than what you should be. And I'm 178 or so. Yeah, okay, maybe I need to be 10 pounds lighter. But I used to be 204, so I'm doing pretty good. You've got to take responsibility. So be careful with what you're putting in your body. And you're going to see this in a very few short years. Home health care is going to not be covered because insurance is cutting you out more and more and more. And so there's going to be some people who have to quit work to be the caretaker. So the time to start is now. And the reason I say that is because I got a message from a sweet, dear lady, love her dearly, and she said, is there an alternative to chemotherapy? I said, no, this is alternative. No, it's complementary, not alternative. No, you do whatever your cancer doctor says. The time to start is 30 years ago. You've got to get started before you develop these things and keep your body healthy.
And that is what's sad. I think that saddens me more than anything is people that we've done lab on in the past, and we've told them, look, you have a propensity towards this coming. Mm-hmm. And they were like, yeah, okay. They might buy a round of it. We wouldn't see them again. And then, years later, here they come, and they're like, what you said, I've got cancer. Can you stop this? And then it's too late. This is natural medicine is about supporting your body's ability to get well.
Normal physiological functions, and there are limitations. You have limitations of matter, and you have limitations of time. Sometimes it's SOL. That means too little, too late. Folks, the time to do it is now. The biggest struggle in our whole life, besides just loving yourself enough to do it, is the struggle between what you know versus what you actually do. So,
and it seems like we'll have people that will invest, and there are many out there that I can't tell you, and we cannot tell you how much we appreciate you, that you continually just keep on going. You can tell, there's times in their lives they'll have some bad months financially, and they back off a little bit and they don't get as much, but they're still doing something. You can see they are. They haven't quit. They just keep trying to go, and then you can tell, well, they must have got a better job because they're back in the game again and they're buying more of their stuff. It's like, that's life. That happens, but they're working toward their health.
Or you got people like Rob that is super, super for many, many years. He compliments me and says, oh, you and your team, you're the best. Y'all are awesome. And you've cured me from things I thought was old age. Well, Rob, you're the one doing the work. And then Rob is happy enough to write me and tell me I'm good. No, Rob, buddy, you're the hero. So thank you for your encouragement. One other thing, I'm going to mention it again. I've done it before. Jody Peppard-Lataki. There's a book called Letting Go, Finding Freedom in Surrender. And people tell me all the time, don't forget, or I'm proud of you for mentioning God. Well, my heart gives me no choice.
Yeah.
Get that book, Jody Peppard-Lataki. The name of the book is Letting Go, Finding Freedom in Surrender. That'll be the best $10 you ever spent, unless you're one of these smarter than me people and can pay $4 or $5 and get it on Kindle. I like the real book. There's just so much you can do, and now that times are a little bit rough because of all the different stresses that the world is going through, now's the time to prove you've got what it takes. You've got the courage, you've got the power, you've got the knowledge, but more important, you have the action in what you do, and you can be an inspiration and help others. That's the best thing you can do, is be healthy enough. You can glorify God, whether you're sick or unhealthy, but it's a lot easier when you feel good. So, hey, we can help you with that.
Yeah, and I had a guy that came in yesterday, and he said, I need something for anxiety, and I need it now.
Janet was going to get him a White Claw.
Yeah, he said, I need something that reacts faster than 30 days. I said, you want this in a pill form, or I was going to get White Claw for him. I thought, I'm not sure where we're going with this. He goes, what have you got? He says, I am so stressed out. And I told him about our L-theanine, because it really does help with anxiety very quickly. And I told him about our Easy Relax, and he said, well, I'm going to try this one today, and if I need to add more to it, I'm going to come back tomorrow. I'm going to get some more. I said, okay.
We'll probably see him today, too. He's a great guy.
Yeah. But, these are trying times. I'll give it that. But you don't have to give in to that.
And we're still healthy. We're still happy. We're still hugging people in spite of the social distancing. I hugged a big black man the other day in Walmart, and it's like, there's not that dissension between the races except on Facebook and the some of the news channels. It's like we all love each other, so let's cut the crap. And I hugged him twice, actually. I said, man, I love the way you social distance. And I said, tell you folks, I said, hey,
But there are, a couple of products that we thought we'd tell y'all about also to help your immune system, just in case you don't want to go down trying to slow it down. If you'd like to speed it up and get it optimal, there's a couple of things we recommend, and one of them you don't hear us talk about very much. It's called Micellized Vitamin A. And Dr. Lewis, could you tell us about why you chose Micellized A? How do you take it? What's the benefit of having vitamin A? I always thought you ate carrots for your eyes had vitamin A, right?
I chose it because that's what Janet told me to talk about. And that's the truth of it. Micellized means it's in, she shook her head. I'm in deep crap when I get home. Micellized means it's in particles that you can absorb much more readily, but vitamin A is important to vision. It's super important for your body to build its own immune system. Good for bone and cartilage development, which most people don't even know that. It's good for maintenance and repair of skin cells. Unfortunately, I sell more of it because women are scared of wrinkles, that and the collagen and the hair, skin, and nails. I sell more of that for, trying to prevent wrinkles than I do for immune system. Folks, good skin comes from the inside, so y'all get with it. It's a super duper powerful antioxidant, and it protects everything basically in the body. And it is fat soluble. People say, "Oh my God, be careful! Don't overdo it." Well, yeah, you can overdo it. We'll tell you how to take it, so you're not going to overdo it.
Well, here's something else I'm going to ask you to talk to him about, since you're saying I'm the one in charge of this.
Ask me? Jeez, I thought you was telling me.
Well, I would like for you to discuss, well, it was actually a question from Sue. She talks about a lost sense of smell. What do you recommend? And I think you and I were just having this conversation this morning. It was quite interesting, and like I said, these little nuggets of information come out of his head at random times, and I thought, oh my gosh, he's just hooked all this together, and I don't think I've ever heard it quite like this. So I thought it was very interesting, your take on loss of smell and zinc, because there are some of us that can smell very well, and we had someone in here the other day that smelled like grease. No,
that's not what I thought it was, but you're being kind.
Yeah, it smelled like he'd been in a convenience store with some of the rancid grease.
I'm going to tell you this. He's an old man, and actually he's my age, but I grew up with him.
But a lost sense of smell, and that's what he said. He said his zinc is probably low, and I thought, well, what an odd correlation you would make with that. So could you tell us what happens?
Well, notice with the COVID, they say when you lose your sense of taste and smell, but one of the best things you need is zinc in order to get back your sense of taste and smell. And I said the more sugar you eat, the more you need. You lose more of your taste buds, so you need more stuff. And the more sugar you eat, the less zinc you have. And then when you have lowered zinc, you get a lowered immune system. And old men, maybe old women too, they lose their sense of taste and smell. And they don't know that they need to take a shower every day and change clothes. And then when your zinc goes down, you start getting a swollen prostate. Prostate has one R in it, folks. It's not prostrate. That's not the same word. And so immune system, loss of taste and smell, a swollen prostate, and they all correlate together. And if I forgot something, Janet, it probably has something to do with memory. I don't know. So
you're telling me that old men or anybody, because he always says, if I start smelling, let me know. And I'm thinking, I don't think I've never got that. I mean, he literally manicures his fingernails better than I do. He's worried about hangnails and things. And I'm thinking, you're not that person.
I broke my thumbnail and it went all the way down into the quick.
Okay, well, you're not that person.
Because I was working hard like a man.
So you're basically saying that some people, whenever they're older, they don't realize they don't smell well because their zinc is too low and they can't smell it on themselves.
Well, we don't always get the nutrient. We never get the nutrients we need out of our diet. And if you had perfect digestion, it would be better, but certainly not optimal. Sometimes you can drive out zinc by having too much polygrip that was full of copper. It had the other kind of zinc, but and the copper in our pipes is an agonist to zinc. There's a lot of heavy metals like lead and aluminum that do that too. So
I thought that was very interesting, though, the whole correlation. I thought, wow, that's pretty good. Okay,
yeah,
got it.
She's told me one time, she says, Stephen, I don't know where you get this stuff. I said, well, I read it somewhere. She said, your thinking is so perverted. I said, no, it's convoluted, not perverted, because she perverts words sometimes. Perversion is not a good word, honey.
Okay. And then I would also, since you think I'm in charge of this, this is great. I'd like you to tell people about another immune system booster that they may not be aware of. If you've been our patient very long, you probably have been aware of it, but our favorite right now that really is helping lung issues, you have to think, what is a common thing that's having a problem with lungs for a disease, but it's something called Immune Essentials. And can you tell us why Immune Essentials is one of your favorite immune system supplement recommendations?
Well, it's the highly researched mushrooms that if you'll look them up, it's like it's used for this, and it's like, oh my God, there's no way you can take these kind of mushrooms without having your body begin to build an immune system. You know, it helps if you avoid the sugar, which lowers your zinc. To do this, you've got to eat more garlic and onions too. But garlic and onions, okay, I know it's good, but let me skip to something else. Garlic and onions have a lot of quercetin in it. Quercetin is an antioxidant that is really, really good for driving zinc into the cell. And if you drive zinc into the cell, do you think your body, the wisdom of God himself, cannot do something good with it? So, yeah, the Immune Essentials are good, and my bronchi and lungs have always been the weak area, so I take the Quercetin bromelain and the Immune Essentials, and I've had less and less and less respiratory stuff, which leads to a better cardiovascular system and lower blood pressure. I do 2 of each, 2 Immune Essentials and 2 Quercetin bromelain in the morning and 2 at night. And it helps a lot.
The Quercetin's one that they're recommending now with I see them come from the ERs down here, and they have a list of natural products. Some of them I laugh at because I'm thinking, I don't know what y'all are giving these people down there that you're telling them helps. But
yeah, the list looks a little perverted, and I don't mean convoluted. I mean it looks perverted as hell.
I mean, there's literally 10 products on there, and they're like, I need these, I need all of these, and I'm like, okay. I said, well, haven't heard of some of these things actually helping with lungs and immune system, but if you want it, I mean, they're determined they're going to have it. But Quercetin is on the list as one of the products. But when we're putting with bromelain,
so thanks to the doc in a box, the minor emergency care places, they send them down here. Thank you.
Yeah, but the bromelain with it just acts as an anti-inflammatory as well, right? Yeah,
and the bromelain also, the reason it's anti-inflammatory is because it's an enzyme, and it goes up and eats up nasty stuff like interleukin 6.
And bromelain is from pineapple, correct?
Yeah, if you're allergic to pineapple, you can't do it. I thought she'd think interleukin 6 is sexy, but she didn't give me that look.
Well, I was trying to correlate it to where people could understand where it was coming from, because that may be a little bit above some people's
heads. It's coming out of my banks.
So you could eat pineapple, although it is full of sugar, but you could eat fresh pineapple, would really help with inflammation as well. But people tell us they do quercetin and bromelain, say their joints feel better also, in addition to it taking inflammation out of the lungs.
Yeah, and 8 of the 10 leading causes of death is inflammation, or the manifestation of inflammation.
Okay.
60% of depression is inflammatory cytokines, which cytokines, being overabundant, is majorly linked to cancer.
And what are cytokines? How would they know they have a cytokine problem?
Yeah, well, you don't. If you're inflamed, you got it.
Fix to say it's not something you check for on lab, so
no.
How would a person know that?
Ask me.
Oh, so we got to come see Dr. Lewis or talk to Dr. Lewis on the phone. He'll tell you everything you need to know and things you never knew you needed to know.
Yeah, and acetylated glutathione increases energy. I was talking to a 20-year-old today. God bless her. I love this girl already. She said, I just don't feel as good as I did when I was young. I said, good Lord, you're 20. She said, when I was 15 or 16, I had plenty of energy.
Oh, wow.
Glutathione. And we've got one, and we've had different ones in the past. This one I won't sell anything that's not the best of the best of the best, but this one financially is a good deal for what you get.
The reduced glutathione. I love the glutathione. I had a lady go, "You didn't give me anything for my liver." We put her on reduced glutathione. She goes, "I do not see a liver product on my list." I said, that is a liver product. That's ultimately what you need to help detox.
Yeah.
So we love that. So if you've not tried that, that's a really awesome thing too. But Dr. Lewis, we are coming to the end of our show again. I know this has been so much fun. I know if you people want to stay in the slow lane with your immune system, please feel free to do so. But if you'd like to take control of your health, of something you can control, it might be now at the time to do it. So could you give us some inspirational words as we close out this week's show?
I don't know if it's inspirational or not, but, the truth is you know what the right thing to do is. The hard part's doing it. Think about the further society drifts from the truth, the more the truth will be hated by the people that speak it. The truth is the one that's being censored. Success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out, and that includes not just the supplements you take, but the people you hang out with. Success is what you speak, what you feel, and it adds up. We really can speak ourselves into being happy, being healthy, being a light, and being sunshine for someone else.
That's right, and you guys are a lot of sunshine for us. So
thank you.
We miss your questions. You can tell we've all been in a funk. We miss your questions on Shooting Straight with Dr. Lewis. We fortunately get a few that come through on emails. Write us that way. It's time to get back in the game. We've been in mourning long enough. So Dr. Lewis has one more thing he'd like to add.
Well, just because Janet jumped the gun on the weight loss thing. And this is the first year. If you've been in a fitness protection program, like witness protection, you need us. This is going to be a really, really good thing. We'll try to have it up and going by next week.
Right. And so that'll be our next shows on weight loss. So you guys have a blessed week. We'll be here next time on the Green Wisdom Health Show.
Once again, our show has come to an end, but your hope in your health is only beginning. If you or a loved one are in need of a different outcome and are waiting for a brighter future, take the first step and go to our website and fill out the health survey. Please don't keep us a secret. If you know someone that could benefit from this podcast, please share this show with your friends and family. You're only one step away from a life worth living.